All right, guys. How are we all doing? How are we all doing in Victoria? I'm actually doing a live from my studio. I normally record these videos and post it up later, but I thought I'd just do today live because it's just such a great day for Victorians, a day to celebrate. And look, you can see this smile on my face. Many of us have suspected for a long time that this day was coming, even though Daniel Andrews himself has denied multiple times that this was going to happen. This has been a rumor for a long time, and now we're seeing today yet another broken promise by Daniel Andrews, who did say he would serve a full term when he went to the election in November. But, here we are today. He's resigned, and I think many of us here in Victoria wouldn't be, probably are happy that he broke this one promise at least. But the reason I wanted to come live today and share some of this news about Daniel Andrews resigning is all of us in this state have been through so much over the last couple of years, and a lot of it has stemmed from, I believe, this particular leader that we've had. And even though he's running away today and jumping ship as our state is going down in flames, frankly, we have so many issues in this state. The guy is running away, and we know we have a lot of hard work ahead of us in this state. It is still a time of celebration. So I'll get to some of the ways that people are celebrating, and I'll also get to some of the ways that people are mourning. Some of his supporters are mourning the loss of their great leader, Comrade Dan. But that's just how it is sometimes. So we'll look at some of that. But for those of you who may have missed the actual resignation, I have the video here to play so we can enjoy it in all its glory. And here we go. I'm just going to pull that up here. Just give me 1 second, guys. So I'm doing all this live, so bear with me. Here he is. Let's listen into his resignation. And I've cut up some clips from, I think, some of the best moments of his resignation. Let's have a listen in.
Okay, you guys right to go? Well, thanks very much for being here at short notice. 9 years ago, I visited Government House to be sworn in as the 48th Premier of Victoria. It has been the honour and privilege of my life. On 3 occasions, Victorians have endorsed me and my team in record terms. I'm very proud of that, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm also proud to think of all that we have achieved over these 9 years, in good times and bad, always working hard to do what's right, not simply what's popular. Every day has been about the only thing that really matters, getting things done. Today I will again visit Government House and resign as Premier and member for Mulgrave, effective 5 p.m. tomorrow. It's not an easy decision because as much as we've achieved together, there's so much more to do. But when it's time, it's time. Recently, in talking to my kids and Kath, thoughts of what life will be like after this job have started to creep in. And I've always known that the moment that happens, it's time to go and to give this privilege, this amazing responsibility to someone else. It's not an easy job being Premier of our state. That's not a complaint, that's just a fact. It requires 100% from you and your family. That, of course, is time limited, and now is the time to step away.
I mean, this guy is just full of crap, in my opinion. And as much as he gloats on about his achievements and what he's done for this state, I like this heading from one of the papers that I saw today. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews quits, leaving debt and lockdown legacy, and many other problems. Definitely, but over just the last couple of years, we've just seen how devastating it has been in our state with the lockdowns, with these mandates, with how many small businesses have been destroyed by Daniel Andrews, with our crippling health services, with our crippling ambulance, and we had firefighters protesting today. This guy has literally destroyed this state. We have some of the worst debt in the country, like combined across all other states combined. We have almost as much debt here in Victoria, and this is what he's running away from after doing all of this, after running in an election not that long ago, saying that he'd serve a full term. Now he's running off as everything is crumbling around him. I mean, he's full of complete crap. And I'm just going to look at this post here that he said. This is from the Australian during the election time, when he was saying Daniel Andrews vows to serve his full term after Victorian election win. Broken promises. I just saw this video as well just then. It was quite funny, so I'm just going to play this. Give me a second.
Very much for being here at short notice. 9 years ago, I
feel.
visited Government House to be sworn in as the 48th Premier of Victoria. Today I will again visit Government House and resign as Premier and member for Mulgrave, effective 5 p.m. tomorrow.
It's just too good. It's just too good. Look, there's lots of articles about this, and we're going to get a lot of analysis over the next couple of days. But I don't think, when we look back at this time, in the history books, when we look back at the time of the reign of the Premier Daniel Andrews in Victoria, over the 3 terms that he's run, and this term that he's running away from, I don't know if the history books will be necessarily kind to him, unless, of course, they are falsifying history and spreading misinformation and disinformation. The facts are that Daniel Andrews has practically destroyed the state of Victoria. Maybe his supporters will argue about that, and I'm going to go to some of his supporters now and see the types of comments that they're saying, to see this delusion up front. This is from Albanese. Daniel Andrews is a person of deep conviction, great compassion, and fierce determination, and he brought all those qualities to his time as the Premier of Victoria. This is from one of his biggest fans on X or Twitter, PR guy, Dan Andrews, going on his own terms. That's how they're terming this whole thing now. Despite the media, despite the cookers, he didn't just tell us hope always defeats hate. He proved it every single time. Revered, principled, and always undefeated. A role model for generations to come. Go, you bloody legend. What complete and utter nonsense. I mean, he is running away. He's been defeated. Mike Carlton, let's see what he says. Dan Andrews was a skillful, effective Premier of Victoria. One of the very best. Tweeting this from the simple pleasure of driving the trolls and cookers to new heights of demented fury. All right, Dan Fangirl, one of his biggest fans online. Not many in this life could achieve what Dan has. I am heartbroken, but I am proud and happy for Dan as he moves on to spend time with his beautiful family, leaving big shoes to fill and a huge legacy. He will always be my idol. And this is from Ashley. Just no, cookers, you never won. Andrews leaves on top, rebuilt this state for the better, winning all elections and the people's approvals time and time again. Dan leaves on his own accord. So that's their victory, that Dan has left on his own accord. He's, once again setting, he's setting the show, right? He's setting the scene, and he's won in this aspect. But again, I think he's a coward. I think he's running away, and history will not be kind to Daniel Andrews. And the people of Victoria remember, and we will always remember what we went through, especially the last couple of years. And that was all at the hands of Daniel Andrews. And, now we're having these COVID inquiries. Now we're having a lot of this kind of accountability that a lot of people in the public are looking for. And these guys are running away. It's not just Daniel Andrews, Mark McGowan in Western Australia. We had Jacinda Ardern running away in New Zealand. These premiers and these leaders that were running our countries and states back during those times are all hiding and running away now, right? There's no accountability whatsoever. I hope the pressure is still kept on these people, and I hope that we still continue to push for a royal commission, and people like Daniel Andrews are actually brought before these royal commissions and made to answer questions, even though, he's now running away from all of this. I'm just going to play a few more of him his resignation statements. Let me just pull it up here. Bear with me, guys. I'm doing all this live.
Public life is about subjecting yourself to the judgment of others. And it will be for others to judge my time in Parliament and my years of leadership.
Let's pull another one up.
I came to the decision fairly recently, and I was very keen to get the housing statement done. But I knew as we got to the final stages of that it would perhaps be the last big reform that I did. Ultimately, once those thoughts of what it'll be like after, what life will be like after this role start to creep in, you've got a really important choice to make. You either kind of push on and ultimately, I think, potentially resent the job, and you just never want to do that. This is such a great honour and privilege. It's such a profound thing. You never want to finish up in a situation where you aren't enjoying the work and where you are resentful of the fact that you're doing this and not doing something else. I'm not at that point, but I'm determined never to get to that point. And having made this decision today, not an easy decision, but a really important one, I won't get to that point. In terms of what I'm going to do next, I'm going to have a bit of time off. I'm going to spend some time with Kath and the kids. I'm going to play a bit of golf. I'm going to read literally the pile of books that are sitting in the corner that haven't been read. I'm going to do a few things that are about me, and I'm going to go through what will be a fairly challenging adjustment period, I think, where I go from every minute of every day being planned out for me and spending literally every waking moment thinking about the challenges our state faces, the opportunities that they can be with hard work, all of that work. I am worse than a workaholic. I'd spend every waking moment is about the work, and there's only so long you can do that for. Okay.
All right, guys. What do you think of what he's saying there? I'm getting some of your comments as well. So some great comments. I won't be able to pull them all up, but it's just some great comments coming in here from those of you who are watching. Look, there is some rumors floating around that there was potentially some, union leaders, some union bosses were going to make some very public statements very soon about asking the actual premier to step down because he's such a failure and he's struggling now. These are just rumors. It's possible that that's what's happened, right? Now, if he's going actually what he's saying because, he can't do the job anymore and he wants to spend time with his family, I mean, no one's going to judge someone for that. Obviously, you don't want someone in a position of leadership who's burnt out, who doesn't want to be there, because that's even a worst case scenario in many ways. But Daniel Andrews is someone who has consistently said that he would see out this term. He's consistently been ready for the fight and passionate about what he's doing, and all of a sudden you have this switching of switch flipping, and he is leaving. So I don't know exactly what to make of it, even though many of us have been saying for a while that it's possible that Daniel Andrews will resign. Over the next couple of days, we will see a lot of analysis on this. We'll see a lot of people either celebrating his legacy or talking about the disastrous things that he has been for our state, our country, and even our image all around the world. Now, there's not many premiers in Victoria or in Australia's history that people around the world would know their name, but Daniel Andrews is one of those type of people, because people know Daniel Andrews from the last couple of years for the tyranny that he unleashed on Victorians. We had police beating up protesters. We had people locked in their houses. We had playgrounds shut down. We had all types of nonsense that has never been held for. These people have never been held accountable for. And in that vein and in that light, it's very interesting to see that there are a few flyers floating about saying that there will be a celebration tomorrow on the steps of Parliament House here in Victoria. Now, I have also shared this and said that I will be there live streaming and reporting from this people's event. I don't know, do you call it a protest? What is it? It seems like some sort of celebration. It's quite unique, actually, to think that we are at a time in our state, in our country. I don't think anyone's ever really gone out to celebrate any type of premier leaving, but that's how divisive Daniel Andrews is to some people in Victoria. So there will be a celebration on the steps of Parliament. It's saying at 5 p.m. until late tomorrow, and I will be there live streaming. I'll be there talking to people and reporting and kind of capturing this moment in our state's history. For better or worse, this is where we are as a state here in Victoria. Again, guys, if you just joined in, I've just been sharing the good news of the day that Daniel Andrews, the Premier of Victoria, is resigning effective from tomorrow at 5 p.m. And thank you again, guys, for joining in on this live stream. It's the first time I'm actually doing completely live. Normally, I do the opposition podcast on Thursdays at 7 p.m. We do that live, but this is the first time I've wanted to join in and kind of celebrate with you guys and share this moment. And you can see my big smile. There's many reasons why many of us are smiling. Again, you can follow along with me on my work at X, YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, and also where else? Facebook, where you're watching, and also on Instagram at The Real Rukshan. Or you can also follow me at my website, www.realrukshan.com. Until then, guys, thanks for joining in, and see you guys next time. Or I might even see some of you guys at the celebration event that's happening at 5 p.m. tomorrow on the steps of Parliament. Take care, guys, and see you all next time.